That's good.
You need to try this. And you really need to try this. Oh my God. That's a hitter.
Thank you, bro. Yeah.
That is, I'm taking a bottle or two at home.
We were talking about that on the way over here.
Oh my God, that's delicious. I'm your host, Jeff Sart. We're going to take you behind the scenes with the craft distillers who are pouring their heart and soul into crafting the next version of America's spirit. This is the Great American Whiskey Cookers. On this episode of the Great American Whiskey Cookers, Master Whiskey Taster Kip Givens walks us through a tasting of their single malt whiskey and then shocks Jeff and the crew with one of the last bottles of their previous barrels. To say that Jeff loses his mind, that's an understatement. Welcome to this edition of the Great American Whiskey Cookers. If you haven't already, like us on the socials, hit our Patreon site, become a member, subscribe. You can get access to some behind-the-scenes footage and some other goodies. We'd really appreciate it. Today, we are in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I'm here at Sideshow Spirits. I'm here with Kip, Master Whiskey Taster, and Cody, one of the owners, and we're doing a tasting. We are tasting your single malt, your American single malt, right?
Yes.
So I'm excited about this. Single malt is really kind of coming up in the world of whiskey, and we're seeing a lot of movement in this. So Kip, walk me through this tasting of single malt.
So, I joke with people, not us at Sideshow, but like us in America. American single malt is our version, quote unquote, of Scotch.
Right.
Now, but it's very limited. What I mean by that is, I'm not talking like your Johnny and your Dewars. I'm talking like a good single malt Scotch.
So,
right?
Dive into that. Single malt Scotch means
It is simply, it's that singular grain. So a blended Scotch or a blended whiskey, you can add neutral grain spirits, you can add product from other distillery. So this is the product of one distiller, one distilling season, 100% malted barley. That's what makes it single malt.
Okay.
Now, couple of the primary differences that differentiate an American single malt from a Scottish single malt is we still go into new oak, whereas Scotch over 98% go into used oak. Right. And then again, with that new oak, our climate is different. I tell people, what's the Scotch? One of the reasons you see such high age statements is because their climate is fairly consistent.
Right.
So they don't get a lot of those drastic temperature changes. Right. We joke around here in Nebraska that we can get all four seasons in a span of about 24 to 48 hours.
Yes,
And so those are some of the nuance. So there is some similarities.
Sure.
Barley in the barrel does produce some similarities no matter where it's from.
Right.
But ours is definitely, this is a little over 2-year product, and that's a gorgeous color.
My God, it's beautiful.
It's got great legs on it. I love when I swirl and I can see that just clinging to the glass. That's what I'm looking for. Because I know that it's going to have some of those oils, some of that viscosity.
Really?
Of course, we're not chill filtering, which is going to remove some of that. I want that oily mouthfeel.
So you're non-chill filtered.
Correct.
In all your products, are you non-chill filtered?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. For me, this is so everything we do is a single barrel.
Okay.
Right now, this is our third barrel of single malt. This is the first one we've proofed. First two were both at barrel strength. This one's at 100 proof.
Okay.
We are of the opinion, at least right now, that we have one product that's at 95. That's as low as we'll go.
Okay.
Right now. Again, subject to change, but we're just not big fans of. The owners, they had to convince me, even to do this, because they said that the market, there are people that don't want to drink 120 proof whiskey every time.
He didn't believe us.
I don't understand what those people know, but so.
My other executive producer and I, we had the same exact conversation on the way over.
What? But I think, 100's a good solid proof. You're still going to get the nuance and the trueness of that, but you're also not going to blow your palate out for somebody who's not. The thing that I really love about barley, there is, even on the nose, it's a little bit of sweetness there.
Pick that up.
But it's earthy.
Yeah, it's
very
got that
earthy,
nice,
very
warm,
malty.
earthy flavors
Yep.
sent to it.
Yep.
Almost like cut hay.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the palate, it's viscous.
Oh yeah, it's nice and oily.
Just full mouthfeel.
Oh yeah.
Covers the entire palate. It lingers, kind of builds. Again, there's that definite earthiness. but I get that
What's-
on that sweet note, I get cocoa and I get a lot of coffee.
That's it.
And-
That's what I'm
yep.
picking up on the
Yep.
on the finish is the coffee.
Yep. And then there's a underlying. The first two barrels actually had more, but that's we do single barrels, right? Every barrel's different. I get a little bit because I know what's in here, but there's a hint of fruit on the back end, some fruitiness.
Oh yeah.
The first two barrels had a little bit more of the fruit note and less of the coffee, where this barrel is very kind of, again, that coffee, cocoa centric.
Now, it's a single malt, so most people think they hear single malt and they think Scotch and they think it's super peaty. This isn't peaty at all. I mean, there's not that smokiness. There's not that heavy char, heavy smokiness that comes through at all. This has got kind of that sweet, almost like what am I thinking? Like sweet corn that's cooked on the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of where what I'm envisioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get a little bit of that. Sometimes people can take an oak and think that and call it smoky, and they're not wrong. Their palate is right to them, and so I get a little bit of oak on here. But definitely, when you start talking those Islay Scotches, those peated Scotch, there's nothing like that on this. We are not doing any sort of smoke on this. This is simply, grain, mash, ferment, distill straight into the barrel into your glass.
And again, it's a single barrel.
Single barrel.
All your products are single barrel. So if I stop in here and I try this and I like it, I probably better buy a couple of bottles.
You better.
Once
That's
that
right.
barrel's gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's
Yeah.
the next barrel, which is going to be a little
Yeah.
bit different, right?
Yeah. One of the things that I think really helped us in developing this, Kip's been talking about American single malt for the last couple of years, really. Like, hey, this is something we're going to see more and more of.
Yep.
I think the feds are giving it its own distinction now.
I think that happened maybe this year.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
we were like, you know what? We've been brewing with barley for a while. We're not new to this
Right.
game.
Yeah.
Having some really great beer brewers on our team, and
You're
so
familiar with the
we're
product,
familiar with the products. So this was kind of a good step. I see this as being one of our flagship products.
You know what?
For sure.
I think this would surprise a lot of whiskey drinkers that shy away from a single malt because they're afraid of that peatiness, that char, that smoke. I think this would surprise a lot of people just because of the sweetness and the flavors that are in there.
Yeah.
I think this is a great product. I love this. I was super excited to try this.
Yeah.
There's a bottle going home with me. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's delicious.
Just for comparison,
Oh, is that one of the first ones?
this is barrel 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, again,
God.
not that my palate is supreme. And again, because the thing I learned is everybody's got a unique palate. But now it's at 115. Barrel 2. This was this one, the one we just had. There is the
this is
first one we
100,
proved.
And that's 115?
115 too. But I think for this one, I think the thing again for me is the fruit note really pops on this one. For me,
And we're out of this one.
I have 2 bottles upstairs that
Oh my God.
that I was gonna right, like even on the note, like it's
Holy buckets.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Listen. I love this one. It's still my favorite product that we make. Even barrel 3. This one was
The fruit on it
Is
this
so
is like
good.
ripe pineapple and crushed raspberries and just jumping.
yeah. Now you're not going to get the coffee at all. Like to me, on the palate, it's sweet, caramely sweet, like sugar, like brown sugar, but still fruit.
Remind me, one of these is grain on fermentation, and one is grain off, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's grain on.
Oh wow! I just got to remember which way the boys do it. Which one they do not like because of the hassle. It's grain
sure.
off, right? No, grain on.
Grain on is the
This
one.
is the grain on, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're going back to grain off.
Correct.
Yeah.
Completely different. The fruit notes
Right.
on this, it is
Crazy.
mind-boggling.
It is.
It's just, that's mind-blowing.
Mhm.
I mean, truly mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I did not expect the fruit. It's like a slap in the face.
Right.
So why not 2 products?
We're not opposed to it.
Right.
I mean, one of the
They're,
things.
they're that vastly different. Why
Yeah.
not do both?
Yeah. Honestly, I could see us expanding in the single malt world.
Yeah.
People have multiple bourbons all the time.
And
Why
I
not
think
have multiple single
and
malts.
something we've just started talking about. We do a couple finished I mean, finished whiskeys is a big deal nowadays. You know, whether it be the double oaked or whether your wine finish, your rum finish. But again, playing into that Scotch theme, I mean, almost every Scotch is finished in something.
Yeah.
So I think taking a single malt and doing a finishing,
That's interesting.
there's not.
What would you
in
do,
the
though?
sing?
Would you do like a
Do
wine?
you sherry? Yep, you can do a sherry finish. Right? I know.
Bro, this is odd. This
Dude,
is
it's
very
seriously-
valodating for us because you do this all over.
I could
and I
snip
love
this.
that we're blowing this dude
That-
away right
I'm telling
now.
you.
Oh, it's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
what
Hell
I'm
yeah.
s- I mean, and again,
You're not going to sell as much product, but he's just smelling it, though.
Right.
I don't think.
No, I would drink it. Try,
Yeah.
Here we go, right? Bubble gum. I'm getting that
Oh,
juicy
interesting.
fruit, bazooka bubble gum
Yeah.
with the fruit.
Oh,
And
that's hilarious.
just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah.
That's fun.
oh my God. And again, I think this will surprise the hell out of bourbon drinkers. It's nothing like a Scotch.
And it's my favorite thing. I mean, again, this is why I say I'm a horrible salesman. And in that sense, I'm a good salesman because I just speak out of my passion and what I like. I am not trying to
wanna try that?
sell you something. I'm just trying to tell you what I like. And I tell people this all the time. I wouldn't even be offering any of our products if I didn't think they were good. But I have a favorite.
Right.
This is my favorite. But I love sampling this because, again, as you know, so many people, you know, everybody now is a bourbon expert. I don't drink bourbon. I don't drink anything but bourbon. I don't even drink rye. Oh, I don't like that.
Rice too spicy. Yeah, you had the wrong rye.
Right.
And so that's my favorite thing is just try to get this in front of people.
One of the things that was pretty important to us early on, or at least to me, is the craft beer world when we first started 10 years ago had this stuffiness about it, right? Like
Yeah.
it was just like, oh yeah, let's
yeah.
do IPA or whatever it is, you know? And I was like, we have got to build a crew that welcomes folks into the fold and doesn't hold them out, right? So we want to bring that guy that comes in and rather than being a dickhead and when he asks for a Busch Light and we put a water in front of him like a prick, you know, we say, hey, we don't have Busch Light, but we're making this great Kolsch, you know, or whatever. So, but the same thing, and I think where Kip is very much into the whiskey nerdology of it, right?
Yeah.
He still is of the mindset of let's bring as many people into this fold as we possibly
Yeah.
can. Why would we not? you know?
Exactly.
Why would we not? We want to grow whiskey drinkers. One of the things that's really cool, market research, it's like the fastest growing segment of whiskey drinkers is like 40 to 50-year-old women,
Yeah.
dude.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
crazy, you know? So why ever put a wall up and say this is just for one
Right.
type of person?
I can see
yeah.
that one, the 115 proof,
Yeah.
really appealing to women.
Right.
I mean, it's just so much. The grain is pretty pronounced on this.
Yes. It's very malty. Yeah.
Very,
sure.
I mean, it's got that, I like it, but it's got
Right.
very malty,
Yeah.
that
Yep.
that malty kind of ham,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Whereas that one, that fruit it's just,
And again, at 115, like it drinks so smooth.
oh my God.
Like there is.
It doesn't drink at 150, it drinks
No.
like at 195.
Yep. Yep.
So, yeah, that's, oh my Lord. So
This is higher proof?
yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, that's 115. That's barrel strength.
yeah, this is 100. That's 115.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling, right?
Pretty wild. Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Lord, that's phenomenal. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Well done. Hey, I'm Jeff from the Great American Whiskey Cookers. Guys, they can find you at sideshowspirits.com,
Yep.
right?
Yep,
And
that's
here
it.
at Lincoln, what's the address?
1630 P Street, right nestled in between the university and the Capitol.
Fantastic. You can find us on the socials and, of course, on Patreon. Until next time, if you can't be good at it. See you.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
This is,
It's good.
you need to try this. You really need to try this.